There are a ton of amazing donuts in Asia, but my favorite is from Korea, where my family's from. My name is Maggie, and I'm going to show you how to make the gwabegi. When I was growing up and I'd go to my grandmother's house, my grandmother lives in Korea, and so whenever we visited her, she'd bring us gwabegi from the bakery. Food holds such a big place in like our experience of memories that I think like it just is home, you know? Eating food from home is like going home, but it never occurred to me that I could eat gwabegi in the States, and now I can make it, so I might as well just make it whenever I feel homesick. It's gonna be a big problem for my waistline, but I'll be happier. While you're making gwabegi, you're gonna have to wait a long time for the dough to rise, and you know, it's just a lot of waiting, but trust me, it's worth it. To me, being Korean is the sense of togetherness, especially in the face of hardship. And if you look at Korea's history, we've had a lot of hardship to overcome. It's that sort of tenacity that really moved us forward, and we came out stronger every time. And I think that's something that I try to apply to the way I live, too. I kept thinking about this Korean TV show. It's like huge in Korea, called Daejanggeum, which I think is Jewel in the Palace in English. And there's this character that, you know, she cooks a lot, but I felt like Daejanggeum today. Oh man, this is my favorite part, twisting the dough, like just watching it come together. Just look at that. I love the shape of it. It was just like twisty, and it is like both fun to look at and eat, and also just delicious. And it's covered in sugar, and you bite into it and it just explodes with sugar. And I remember making a mess and thinking, man, I'm gonna get in trouble. There's so much sugar. Yeah, I think my favorite part is the sugar. It's the sugar coating. You know, you just pick it up and it's kind of like fluffy, and like when you go at the right time at the bakery, it's warm too. Oh, 맛있어.
Hi, my name is Darius, and today I'm going to show you how to make jalebis from India. I can't remember the first time I had jalebi. For as long as I can remember, I've had it. I think the first time must have been when I was a baby. But jalebi has always been one of the favorite desserts in my family. Traditionally, jalebis are orange, so I'm going to use a couple drops of orange food coloring. However, if you don't have food coloring, you can use turmeric powder, or you don't have to add food coloring at all. It's pretty common throughout India, and I feel like each region of India has its own slight version of it, but for the most part, what you see is the fried, sticky dough that's crispy, but also really juicy from all the syrup. I remember in New Delhi, where I was born and I lived for a little bit, you know, you go to the stores and they'd be like right outside, and you smell it and you're just like, I need it right now. I feel like there's no perfect way to make the shape. You just have to do it without a lot of space in the middle, and maybe keep it close to the oil. The ones we're making right now, they're a little bit smaller than what I would usually get. Oh, that one looks like a brain. Sometimes they can be as big as like your face or something like that. They're huge, and a lot of times they'll get stuck together, so you'll have like 2 or 3 pieces combined in one. When you eat jalebis, you get the syrup all over your hands, and you have to wash them or wipe them off, and even then it still stays, and when you go home you find it in parts of your shirt that you didn't realize it got stuck to. That's just the life of eating jalebi, but it's so worth it. That's delicious.
My name is Stacy Wong, and I'm going to show you how to make yaotiu today. I've been eating yaotiu for 25 years, which is how old I am now. My dad would take me to like little cafes in Chinatown, or even in Hong Kong, they just sell them on the street with like a side of soy milk or a side of porridge. You just eat them together for breakfast. It's a very fun thing to wake up to in the morning. My family is from Hong Kong, so I grew up speaking primarily Cantonese. The way you pronounce it in Cantonese is yao tiu, or there's another way of saying it where it's like yao za guai. They mean the same thing, it's the same food, it's just the different ways we call them. So when you're walking down the streets of Hong Kong, it's very, very busy, first of all. There's always markets up and down the street. There's street food just being cooked right in front of you, fresh. And you can go up to them and for like a couple bucks get like a full meal, and it's great. Each stand produces its own character, its own smell. It's just something that you have to walk down the streets of Hong Kong just to experience it. I love being from Hong Kong. I love the fact that my family is from Hong Kong. It's like a second home to me, and every time I go back, it's almost like a new world where I just feel like I belong there. Hong Kong is such a great country that has a diversity of people. It's like a Chinese New York almost. That's what I call it, a Chinese New York, and I love it. I'm using a skewer here to make the little indents on the dough, but if you have a chopstick, that totally works too. The texture of yaotiu it's kind of like a mixture of a churro and a very, very fluffy, crispy donut. The outside is all crispy and golden brown, and then the inside, when you rip it open or you take a bite into it, is like very soft and fluffy. So it's just like a world of different textures crunching together into your mouth. This definitely reminds me of my younger self.
Hello, my name is Michelle, and today we're going to be making the most delicious donut in the world, my grandmother's satan dagi from Okinawa, Japan.
For as long as I could remember, we've always had satan dagi at like every family function. I think I took it for granted pretty much until I got to college, and I realized, oh, I can't just eat it whenever I want. My grandma, she adds orange juice to balance out the flavor so it's a bit more mild. Lemon zest is another really common one. Some people like to use imo or purple yam or purple potato from Okinawa. My grandma, the ones that she makes are more like maybe ping pong size or golf ball size. But in Okinawa, when you buy satan dagi on one of their busy streets, Kokusai Dori, they're huge. They're just super crispy and golden and delicious.
Thank you, Grandma.
Oh, yes!